What up, players? Man. Today, yesterday I left off with the cliffhanger of what I wanted to talk about today. And I still want to talk about that. But, man, you know, I don't know what it is. This hasn't happened in a while. Haven't thought about it. I was just thinking about, you know, the day that I quit my last job and what my manager, how he treated me and how he was talking to me and how, you know, when I went to HR, they couldn't do anything and his boss didn't do anything and his minion was always treating me like fucking trash, you know? Oh my God. It just, you know how, do you guys ever think that, does it ever happen to you? Like you think about something like that, how someone just did you so wrong and so dirty and it just makes your blood boil. You know what I mean? Ugh. It's having trouble coming down from that. You know what I mean? Just hate it. Hate it. Because it's like, the more I think about it, I'm like, man, if I would have just handled it slightly different. I mean, I didn't want to work there anymore. I had enough. You know what I mean? I just want to go to work and do my job. And I'm good at a lot of things, you know, and I just want to, I never got to do that. You know what I mean? It's like, there was always a boss. It's like, I think I mentioned it in my vlog yesterday. It's like any job that I had that I liked, that had good people and good owners and managers and stuff, they never paid well. And it's unfortunate because every place that I've worked that did pay the bills, they sucked. The managers sucked and the owners sucked. God dang. It drives me nuts. But, you know, can't go back in time. So there's probably no sense of thinking about it, really. I just wish there was something that I could do. What's up, kid? Make my video. Can I finish this? Do you need something?
No. I just wanted to say. Please subscribe and if you like the video, like that video and leave a comment.
Thanks, honey. Let me know if you need something, okay?
Okay.
All right, let's let me finish this up. She's a good kid. She had school from home today because they have like laptops or whatever. And she was like, you can hear, like, it's like a Google conference call or whatever you use for conference calls or whatever. And her and her classmates were talking and just being silly and stuff. And she was like, my dad has a YouTube channel. You should subscribe to it. Yeah. So, yeah. Anyways, I don't know. I just think about those things, and it's like I wish there was just something I could do, because like it wasn't fair. And I guess what I was saying was I wish if I would have just, I was just at my wit's end. I didn't want to be there anymore. You know what I mean? Because I was tired of putting up with it, and it was just kind of like, okay, do I fight back or do I just walk? Because that's where I was. You know what I mean? I wish I could have just got like a little verbal jab or something in there. You know what I mean? I haven't put googly eyes on this guy yet. Not much of an update on this. I've just been doing my passive exercises. Every time I think about it, I'll just stop for a minute or two and just do this. Bend them all the way with my other hand. That's part of the start of my physical therapy. Yeah, man. So, anyways, what I wanted to talk about yesterday, I had a lengthy conversation with someone on the phone. It's really cool that a lot of people are still calling me and stuff. It's like everyone always just texts and stuff. It's so nice to just talk to someone, you know, and just have a conversation. And yeah, it's just nice. Especially when you can have a conversation where like people are talking to converse and learn and listen and not just talk and shove their opinion down your throat. You know what I mean? But the person I was talking to, we had a lengthy conversation about religion. And I would say I'm spiritual. I'm not religious. I'm, yes.
Can I have this?
Did you eat dinner?
Yeah.
Yes. And
Please subscribe.
thanks, honey. I need to let me do this. I was right in the middle of a conversation. I consider myself spiritual, not religious. I've just had a lot of personal experiences that it was just I don't know. When I look back on any of my religious experiences, I honestly cannot remember one positive thing. And, you know, I usually categorize experiences as like positive, negative, or neutral. A lot of neutral, much more negative, unfortunately. But this person that I talked to is very Christian, which, you know, is very common in the States, very common around the world, I guess, really. But, you know, at least this person, I like I said, I could talk to, and we can just have a conversation. You know, there's no one getting offended or anything like that, which is such a fresh breath of air, you know. I've always been, as you guys probably know and have observed, I think very deeply on things. And I don't like repeating things or read or just doing things because that's what the crowd is doing. Because when I have in the past, because it made me, because I felt good about it, but then realized I was wrong. It's very disheartening. You know what I mean? It affects me in a way that's like, because I'm really not the kind of person, like if I'm wrong, it's okay to be wrong. You know what I mean? Because no one is perfect, but I don't want to, I want to try and do as much good as I can, put as much positivity out there, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? But we just went down, and a lot of people lately have been talking to me about religion and God and miracles lately, because I think it's probably safe to say, considering what happened to me, it was a miracle. I don't know the actual definition of a miracle, but I feel like a lot of people, especially everyone who had approached me, miracles are like a higher power's doing, or, well, I guess in my case, what I'm talking about is God's doing. And I just don't know. And I feel like I explain that a lot, and I try and have conversations with people about that. And a lot of times people just get frustrated and offended, you know? People will give me examples of, I make, I don't know how to explain it. I guess it's just, it's strange to me because I just don't know. So when someone says to me like, God wanted you here for a reason. It's like I appreciate someone saying that. It's just like when, like a lot of people have told me, like, we've been keeping you in our prayers, and we've been thinking about you and just praying for you. I appreciate that, and I say thank you. That's a nice gesture. You know what I mean? But there's so many things to that. Like I don't know. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna be honest. I never passed out from the blood loss, and so it may not have been as serious. I mean, it was a serious injury, but I was lucky. I had enough knowledge to get my bleeding under control until professionals could help me, and fix what needed to be fixed, and all that. You know what I mean? But I just don't understand, a lot of things when people tell me, and it's not like the first time that someone has told me, something like that, like, something has happened or something, and people are like, well, God must have wanted that for you or something, But just to try and stay on subject with my injury, right? Because that's what's happened most recently. I just don't understand how I never had any visions or anything when this happened. You know what I mean? Like, people always talk about signs and stuff like that. Like, I never had that. And there was a point, like I said, it probably, to me, it was kind of my injury was kind of traumatizing, and maybe I was just in that, fight or flight mode, or whatever you want to call it. And when I was younger, I was raised Catholic. I was in Christian bands. I'd seen things behind the scenes at Christian churches. I never. Death always scared me. And there was a certain point, I think, when I was a teenager, or maybe not long after high school, I remember thinking very deeply about death. And I used to go back and forth about, like, what if nothing happens? What if I'm, just everything that there is about what may or may not be in an afterlife. And I think because my whole life, the people that, tried to influence me religiously, just it made me fearful of everything. Like, I used to think, like, if I was just thinking of something, I'm like, oh wait, I can't think that way. Like God can hear my thoughts. Like, that's gonna make me go to hell, and that to me is not good. That's not how you. That's not that shouldn't. If there is a God, I just can't believe that that's what he would want. You know what I mean? But I'm getting off subject. I digress. So when I was in the ambulance, my bleeding, it was under control, and you know, I knew I was going to have to go into surgery, and just a lot of things going around. And I just remember thinking about when I was younger, and I was thinking about death, and I had this kind of like calming moment that I always remember, that I just, because I feel like right now and for a long time, I just don't know what's going to happen. And to be quite frankly, I don't think anyone really truly knows. So I'll get to see what is on the other side. And that was calming to me. And there was a point when I was in the ambulance, I was trying to bring I kept having panic attacks. And the EMT kept telling me, like, I need to just calm down, and that's what's going to save me, because I severed an artery, right? And I remember thinking that, about that. And I remember just kind of like, it like calmed me down, and I just remember thinking, like, you always think you're just going to get old and just pass of old age, you know? I feel, at least me, I don't know. So I was just like, man, I didn't think it was going to happen this soon, but I guess I'm ready, which is a pretty scary and mature and relieving and maybe even morbid kind of thing to think. But yeah, I did. I mean, obviously I made it through, and I'm grateful for that. But when I was in surgery, you hear stories on TV and movies and stuff, or maybe you heard it from someone you might know, or a friend of a friend or something, like being in surgery or being close to death or something. I don't think I got that close to it. I think it was just the trauma of the moment, you know. I never had any visions or anything that you hear of or whatever. It didn't really change me in that way. But the conversation I was having with this person yesterday on the phone, and he wasn't even the first one, but a lot of people had just, like I said, been talking to me about, like, you know, it was a miracle that happened to you. God wanted you here, like, praise God, and things like that. And I just, the best thing I can think of is just, I just don't know. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. I don't think that's the best way to say it, but I just, that's the only thing I can think of. It just doesn't make sense to me, because if, of all the things that are happening in the world, I mean, there's people that are, like, enslaved right now. I mean, I guess I don't know that for a fact, but I would say that's probably highly likely. People that are starving, that have to do things that just are not, that are just, I guess, against the Bible or any laws of any religion that would condemn you to hell. And I just can't, I can't put my head, I just can't wrap my head around, like, why what makes me so much more important than those people? And I guess if there's an all-powerful being, he would probably be able to process all of these things simultaneously and constantly, almost like a bunch of relays going off in his mind, like, this person, yes, this person, yes, this person, no, Josh Mitchell, yes, just, you know what I mean? But I just can't, it's like I don't have anything against it, because I was telling this person too, because he struggled a lot with a lot of things in his life, and he found, he says he found God, and he found peace, and he got clean and all these other things because of God. And I said, there's nothing, that's good. I'm not trying to tell you that you're wrong and you shouldn't believe in that, because if that helps you, that's a good thing. And it's helped a lot of people. For me, I've just seen so many things and experienced so many things personally that to me, it's not even a question of God. It's more of just a question of, there's really actually two things going on. So what I just said was, it's almost like there's no proof to me. Like I need like logical sense or answers or whatever to understand a higher power. But then, the other side to this too is like, I've just personally experienced so many shitty things from churches and people within the church, or people that work within the church, that I almost feel like, especially like something like Christianity. I mean, a lot of religions have been around for a very long time. And it's almost like the human involvement just kind of messed it up. Like I just can't wrap my head around how, something like, and this is just one example, but just, there's churches out there that just, these people at the top just make and have so much money, and like there's so many people that are involved with that church, and they don't even realize like all this money and time and skills that they're donating. All these people at the top are just taking it. And I know not all places are like that. But I've also seen it happen on much smaller scales. And sometimes I feel like, the people who talk to me about, or try to talk to me about God and religion often, I don't think they realize or even understand how much involvement I've actually had and what I've seen behind the scenes, just being like in a Christian band. Maybe I was just involved in all the wrong. I was like wrong place, wrong time a lot, or something. But I just see so many people that really think that they're doing well, and they have their community within their church, and they're genuinely kind people and nice people, but then they do and say things that just make absolutely no sense, and it's just like very bad judgment, like things that are very obvious. And I'm kind of trying to be vague because I don't want to feel like I'm calling anyone out or anything like that, because it's really not my intention. But I just don't, I don't think that just because you do or say something within the church and say that it's in the name of God makes it right. And I have yet to have someone prove me wrong. It feels kind of dirty to say, but I guess I think the best way to say that is I feel like the human involvement and over so many years of translations of these books and and people spreading the word, quote unquote. It's like these books came from languages that are so ancient and have been around so long, and some of them aren't even spoken anymore. Like, there's just not translations for certain words between ancient and modern languages, and there's no way it could have the same meanings anymore. I just, and people, like I said, quote unquote, spreading the word. I mean, it's to me, it's like playing a really, really long game of telephone. Like when you were a kid and your class would get into a circle and someone would start and whisper a word to one person to the right, and it goes all the way around. When it comes back, it's either the same word or it's not, I just, I don't know. None of that makes sense to me. And like I said, I don't I'm not saying anybody's bad or not good people. I think a lot of people have good intentions, but I also feel like a lot of people don't have good judgment, and I don't know what the word is. Like it's like, do you ever try and train someone at work or explain something to someone and they're just not getting it? You know what I mean? And you're just like, you kind of just give up because you're just like, I don't think this person will ever understand. And I'm not that person. And if they can, I am not that person to be able to teach them. It makes me bummed out, and I feel like I'm kind of being a douche, but I think that happens more, and with me too. I mean, there's things that I've realized much later down the road that I was like, oh man, that's what that person was talking about 20 years ago or something. You know what I mean? I just don't. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm not very trusting of people, but to be honest, I feel like I have pretty good judgment with a lot of things, other than putting glasses away. But I don't know. And honestly, I don't even know why I felt the need to talk about this, because it's something I honestly don't. I've had so many conversations with people, and it's like a lot of times, like I said, they don't end well, and it's kind of a bummer. Even with, like, it's happened to me many times, just with even family. You know what I mean? And it's crazy to me that this person believes in something so much with no, like, tangible anything, that they will choose that they have chosen that over me, their own family member. who has done nothing but help, or, you know, drop everything to come in and give you a hand, or whatever. It's just, but I feel like if, because I said I'm a spiritual person, I don't think that's God's doing. I don't even really think that would be the devil's doing. I feel like people are just confused. And I mean, to some people that's like, well, that's, the going back and forth and not being able to decide, and being confused, and of the right and wrong thing, like that is God's and the devil's work. I don't know. Someone's playing drums out there. Wonder who that is. I think someone wants to hang out with me. So, I don't know. I kind of want to open the conversation, but I also am kind of nervous about that, because people get very defensive of religion and very defensive of politics, especially now with politics, But the other part of me is like, this is why I think things have become so polarized, especially like, with politics, for instance, is because people just can't even have a conversation, and people can't accept the fact that sometimes what you saw on Facebook or on your chosen news network may not be the truth, and they may have not reported it correctly, or they may not even care what they're talking about. They just need that ad money, that ad rev. But I guess that's kind of the point of everything. Like, I just said how with, news sources, no matter where they're from, TV, the internet, whatever, a lot of times it's hard to tell when you're that distant from something, of that person's or company or whatever, their true intention, I don't know. Just something, I guess, I was thinking very deeply about. And I'm glad I saved it for this vlog, though, because we just hit 33 minutes, so. I guess I'll end it there, because I don't know, I don't know what else to say. It's very, I will say, though, if you are gonna comment or anything, your view, your opinion on that, please just, if you're gonna speak without the intentions of also listening, just don't. So, man, I feel like this was such a dark vlog. I like being happy. I was thinking about that yesterday, and I was thinking about it all day today. I had so many things going on today that just so many roadblocks. I got an email saying that I'm going to get a bill soon from the hospital, which everyone I've talked to has said, just wait, because it's like a lengthy process. Like, the hospital will send you a bill, but the insurance didn't process it, so that you're not going to get a bill from them first, and all this crazy stuff. But it was nearly $25,000. So that's scary. I've been uploading the old vlogs to the new channel. I got, I think, 3 or 4 up today, and then they were like, "Oh, you have to verify yourself with upload a photo of your ID." Like, so I have to wait 24 hours before I can upload more. Yeah, I don't know. But you know what, guys? I will say before I jump off, I've gotten to know probably all of you that watch these regularly pretty well, whether it was before or after doing these vlogs, or when I was doing Punk Cover Moose or whatever. And I like all of you guys for who you are, and I think you're all good people. So I hope I didn't come off wrong, because that happens a lot too. I'm not a very good explainer. I don't have any hate in my heart for anyone on the subject of what I was just talking about. So I hope that came across. And if not, let me say that, let me saying that, I hope that makes sense to you. And whatever it is, you know, if it's religion or praying or meditating or whatever that helps you find your peace, that's great. I want that for you. So thanks for the support, guys. Appreciate it. All the links are in the bio, of course. Merch, affiliate links, Amazon, DistroKid, to get your music out there for all you musicians. Someone mentioned to me today, they messaged me, because I never used Facebook, but I got on my personal one today, because I was like, I have a lot of friends on there that probably don't follow my music, so I should, and family and stuff. And I was like, I should probably update them on my injury, because I think there's a lot of people that don't know. And then someone messaged me and said, let me know if you want to do a merch fundraiser. And I said, what's that? And he didn't answer me. So if you guys know what that is, let me know. I don't know what that means. I'm curious. I think I know what it means, but I don't know what it means. Is it like a spaghetti dinner? But I sell my own merch. I think that's what I'm doing already. I don't know. Thanks for the support, guys. I will see you tomorrow.